Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and we're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And actually, this isn't really a video. This will just be kind of a slideshow. These are pictures I took at Cooter's Place at the old location in Gatlinburg. It's now located in Pigeon Forge, but for quite a while it was located in Gatlinburg, and it just seemed like a great spot for it. And if you were a fan of the Dukes of Hazzard as a kid like I was, it was just great always going there. Anytime you walked the strip, you got to go and enjoy Cooter's Place. Again, they've since moved it to Pigeon Forge, and I put up a video of that the other day, and yeah, I actually got a few messages about that. People seem to enjoy that, so I was looking. I thought I had some video footage of Cooter's in Gatlinburg, and I still might, but I couldn't find it. But I found a ton of pictures, so I thought I would just put up some pictures again, kind of as a slideshow, to give you a look around at how Cooter's Place in Gatlinburg used to look. There's now a Ripley's Believe It or Not little mini golf experience there now, and I haven't even been into that. But yeah, here's the old Cooter's Place. Obviously, they just moved a lot of stuff over to Pigeon Forge. This was a smaller, in my books, it seemed like a smaller location. They did a really good job of using their space well, though. And as you can see, they had a lot displayed, a lot for sale. You would occasionally find some vintage stuff for sale, too, not just on display. But I know I found a Bo Luke action figure there. I think they were selling them for $5 or $10. And even though I still had mine from when I was a kid, I thought it was pretty novel to pick one up while I was at Cooter's Place. So that was kind of nice. And I know as a kid, the Dukes of Hazzard action figures were just the coolest. Like you didn't get, when they came out, that was just a big deal. Everybody was happy if you were a kid. And, they only made, 9 or 10 of them, so it was pretty easy to get the whole collection. I know I could never find Cooter, and one of, I think my Roscoe, his hand broke off, but otherwise I think I had all of them. I know there was also an Uncle Jesse that had a brown beard instead of a white beard, which was kind of odd. But yeah. And of course they made the General Lee, they made Dixie. I had both of those at different times. I believe I lost them both in a house fire. And I keep meaning one of these days I'll probably get on eBay and just find one just to have a General Lee. But I haven't yet. And I figure one of these days I can probably just 3D print one and have one. But anyway, yeah, they were cool toys. When I was a kid, man, you just didn't get any cooler. I know that they have had some signings, some autograph signings by some of the cast members at this location, and I think they've done that at the Pigeon Forge location too, and the Nashville location, and the Luray location. I've never been to one of those. I'd like to go though. There's still several cast members I'd love to meet. Again, special place in my heart from my childhood. These photos, just for what it's worth, the dates on them, and they're roughly in order. I found files from 2012, 2014, and 2016. I believe so. Almost all of these photos are from the mid 2010s. Of course, lots of General Lees. You couldn't have too many General Lees. It was just the coolest thing ever back in the day. I have put up other videos here on YouTube. I do have a video of me going through the Nashville location of Cooter's Place. And, of course, the new Pigeon Forge location. I've got a video up of that if you want to go check those out. Also, I put up a video of the Grand Victorian Inn here in Kentucky. And as we were kind of walking through with the caretaker of the inn, she mentioned to us that a lot of the cast actually stayed in the Grand Victorian Inn about a year or so ago. And I thought that was pretty cool. I believe John Schneider was there. Tom Wopat was not, but Byron Cherry was, if I understood what she was telling me correctly. And I know John Schneider and Byron Cherry have been making appearances together here recently. And of course, there's some more stuff on the walls of Cooter's Place in Gatlinburg. And this was the kind, yeah, man, how great were those old Halloween costumes? Who wanted to be Boss Hogg, though? Do you know one kid that was like, Mom, I want to be Boss Hogg for Halloween? I don't think that ever happened. I sure do miss those old vinyl costumes with the old kind of paper masks with the string in the back. And it's pretty cool that they've got those on display. And of course, James Best, Roscoe himself, one of my favorite actors. If you watch old TV shows, old westerns, Twilight Zone, you still see him pop up in old reruns. And he was another one of those brilliant actors who could probably do Shakespeare and, all sorts of crazy, complicated stuff. And he'll always be known, as being Roscoe. And he'll always be loved for it. I do think here at the Gatlinburg location, I think they used to charge you if you wanted to sit in the General Lee and get your picture taken. They would charge you for that. I noticed at the new Pigeon Forge location, they were just telling people to go ahead and have a seat and get your picture taken. And they were very nice about it. I saw several families, a little kid did it and an adult. I did not do it. I probably would, but I just didn't. I know when we were young, gosh darn it, the Dukes were out in the 80s, early 80s really, I guess, and my dad got a Dixie horn for his truck. And when I went to birthday parties or when I went and saw my friends, I was a very popular kid when my dad would honk his horn. And more stuff around the old Cooters location in Gatlinburg. They did have the mini golf. I never played mini golf there. They had the little racetrack where you could race the go-karts. Kind of seemed like a small area for that, but I always saw people doing it. Looked like they were having fun. And man, they have just made the General Lee in about every scale you can imagine and every version you can imagine. Some more of the figures and the cars there. And going back to James Best, Roscoe. He grew up not too far from where I grew up, out in Muhlenberg County in that area. I know he has some connections there. Some people know this, some people don't. He was related to the Everly Brothers. And I've mentioned this before, but I did... he came out on stage at one of the Everly Brothers concerts I went to once, and the crowd went nuts, of course. And more stuff. There's the little racing area there. Again, I never did that. It looked kind of tight. Could have been my angle that I was looking at there. Some of these pictures might be a bit repetitive. Forgive me if that's the case. I found some of the best pictures I'd taken over those years and thought I would put some of them up. I hope you appreciate that. This was the kind of place, too. It was always a fun place to buy a gift for someone. I bought my dad several shirts here over the years. They used to have on their website, if you went to the Cooter's Place website, they had like a camera. And I think it was on 24 hours. Like you could go there and you just kind of see who was roaming around the shop or what was going on in the shop. And I thought that was pretty neat. I know, this might sound a little weird. As a fan of Gatlinburg, I love Gatlinburg. I love that whole area, the Smoky Mountains. A lot of mornings on my, through the internet, I can listen to local radio stations in that neck of the woods, and I often listen to the Redneck and the Redcoat on 105.5. Kind of out of that area, and it's just kind of nice. Makes me feel like a local. Another thing to mention with the new location in Pigeon Forge, Cooter's Place is right next to the micro wrestling. It's in a storefront, but they have micro wrestling, which we used to call midget wrestling, which is not politically correct anymore. Oh, there's the trading cards. I love the trading cards too. Man, when I was a kid, trading cards were always a lot of fun. But yeah, they have the micro wrestling spot, and you can go see little people. Maybe that's the politically correct way to say it. And I say that as someone who's not much over 5 foot tall myself. But yeah, you can go see them wrestle. I did catch them when they were in Lexington a few months ago, and they put on an incredible show. If I hadn't been to a wrestling event since I was a little kid, but I went. A buddy took me, and we had a great time. Those guys, forget the gimmick of the midget micro thing. They were great wrestlers. They knew their moves. They were doing the flips. They were hitting their spots, and they could trash talk, and it was a lot of fun. We were particularly impressed with Hot Rod. Kind of came out and trash talked the crowd, and he kind of arrogant and cocky, kind of doing a Rick Rude thing, and it was just he nailed it. It was funny. Anyway, it was a great show. Every single wrestler there did a great, just gave it their all. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that if you're going to be in Pigeon Forge, you can go catch micro wrestling and Cooter's Place pretty much in the same location. Anyway, that's about it. Again, I just thought I'd try to put up a little something from the old Cooter's Place back when it was located at the Gatlinburg location.